Hey, gorgeous people. Oh, we made it. We're live on Facebook as well. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited. Right, just checking you can all see me. You can all hear me. I'm seeing some new faces, some old faces. Hi. Let me know where in the world you are. If you are watching live on Facebook, come and say hello. I will try and get the comments up while you're all typing there. Um, mm, Hopefully this is working. I don't know. We shall see. Um, okay. So as you're joining in, I would love to know on a scale of 1 to 5 how you're feeling today. So 1 is 5 is pop it in the chat. New South Wales, Australia. Tomorrow is in the house. Hello from Spain. Hello, Sam from Spain. Hello, Glasgow. 5. Hello, Michelle in Canada. For Jackie down the road. It's lovely to see you all. Well, everyone that's here live, I just first of all want to say a massive, massive thank you because for most of you, you have no idea why you're here. Am I right? I've just said there was a call. I just put a call out and it goes against like everything that you hear on like every business strategy thing. By the way, if I lisp, I have a brace. Um, and I just thought, you know what? I'm sure with this work that we're doing, is the people who need to feel it will feel it. And so thank you for being here. We've got some threes, some fours, some fives. So why don't we just start with a centering? Why don't we just all come in and come present? So I'm going to invite you to find your breath. If you've got a drink with you, like I invited, you can cup that drink in your hand if that feels good for you. Otherwise, you can just bring your hand to somewhere that feels good for you. And just invite yourself to be here in the room. Invite yourself to be here and available. And you can just ask yourself this inquiry. What brought me here today? What brought me here today? And just ask yourself, if this could bring me everything that I wanted it to bring, what would I be expecting? What would I like to call in today? And whatever that looks or feels like for you, I wonder what would happen if you knew that this was coming, if you knew that this feeling that you were inviting in was coming. Maybe it presents to you as a symbol, as a sound, as a color. What if you could just let it arrive? What if just for today, just for this moment, just for now, we could trust that what we ask for, we receive? How would that look? How would that feel? How would you show up differently? And whatever it is that you have asked for, I just want you to say thank you to it. Thank you for being here with me now. It feels so good to know that you're here. And then when you're ready, I just want you to start to come back into this space. Start to come back and bring that feeling with you. Bring that knowing that even just for now that you're supported with everything that you wish for. And I just want you to pop in the chat what you experienced, what you asked for, how you felt. Welcome back. Now we've had a little bit of fun with the Facebook Live, because you know me and Facebook Lives. We always have fun with the Facebook Lives, but I think we're back. So if you are here on the live in Facebook, give me a hello and then I'll know that you're here. So let me know, what were you expecting? What were you hoping for? What did you call in? Because it was quite a few years ago that I kind of unwittingly called something in. I remember sitting in a workshop. It was probably about 8 or 9 years ago, and I was sitting in this spiritual workshop. I think we were talking about the angels, and we were asking to set our intention. And I was sitting there, and there was probably about 20 or 30 of us in the room. And I remember thinking it was quite clever. And I don't know if I heard it. Looking back, maybe I heard it. Maybe it was something that was kind of impressed on me. But really, my ego was like, this will be a clever thing to say. Everyone's going to love this. It's brilliant. And I declared in front of this room, I am going to live a soul-led life. Little did I know that that was going to lead me on a journey that took me beyond things that I wouldn't expect. Because I think sometimes we think about the soul and we think it's this warm, fluffy, peaceful, inner wisdom. I'm just looking at some of the things that you called in. Softness, yes. But actually, something that I learned as I began to bring in this soul-led life is that the soul's quite fierce. The soul doesn't take excuses. The soul doesn't really care that much for your comfort. The soul's like, well, you want to live a soul-led life? Let's do this. Here's your little comfort zone. Anyone felt this? Here's your little comfort zone. We're just going to stretch it. And then we're just going to stretch it a bit more. And we're going to stretch it a bit more. And the more that you or I battled against it, oh, yes, the more that I battled against it, the more it kind of didn't so much stretch as ripped and broke. And it just kept pushing me out there. But every now and then, especially when I was in those real seasons of doubt, those real seasons of like, can I do this? There's real seasons of, what, really? You want me to do what? I would hear this or feel this knowing that my soul's never led me wrong. That yes, it had led me to discomfort. That yes, it had sometimes put me in situations where I'm like, I don't think I really like this very much. Can we go home now? But when I stepped with it and really invited that part of me to lead, it never, ever led me wrong. And it led me into trust, into deep trust. And I can see, Marie, you said that you called in trust in yourself more. And on that, when we think about trusting in ourselves, sometimes we're trusting the wrong part of us. Because who's ever had it where you're like, yeah, I think I can do this thing. Yeah. And then you're like, no, I can't. Anyone had that? Give me a 1 in the chat. If you've ever had that, you'd be like, yeah, I could do this. And then you're like, no, I can't do this. Yeah, like, no, I can't do this. It's too much. It's not for me. There's no way. All the ones. Everyone's like, yes, Mez, yes, me. So what's that? Well, that's the human, the smallest self, a part of us, which might be our perfectionist, which might be our inner critic, which might be our inner child, which might be our, the face that we put in the world. It might be the person that first got a job or that found themselves in these situations. It's that part of us that's going, hey, no, I can't do this. And you know what? That part of you is absolutely right, because that part of you can't do it. That part of you is being true to you. That part of you is going, hey, let's stop this now. I don't know what we're doing. And what I learned, and this was one of the most powerful things, that one of those one thoughts that changed everything, was that part of me didn't need to do it. The part of me that led me here, the part of me that said to me, yep, let's go do this thing, was the part of me that actually was going to go and do this thing. Not the intellect, not the inner child, not the perfectionist, not the inner critic. The soul, the highest wisdom, the one that is here that's going, yes, you wanted to live a soul-led life. Let's go do it. We bring that part of us on board, and there's nothing that we can't do. I'm not sure that's true. I don't think there's nothing we can't do. I think there's plenty. Like if I tried to invent a new AI model, I don't think that would be something that me nor my soul would be capable of doing. But why? Because it's not aligned with me. It's not part of who I am. So I want you to pop in the chat anything that you've had that's been an inspiration, something that you've had that you've been like, I really want to do this. I'd really love to have this out in the world, or I'd really love to experience this thing. It doesn't have to be work. It could be in a relationship. It could be just an experience. It could be, something that you simply would like to do, that then you have felt that, I don't know, you've been incapable, or it's too much, or like maybe one day, or maybe when I have the resources, the money, the bravery, the partner, the whatever. Pop it in the chat. Something. I'm not going to make you do it. I'm not your soul. I'm not going to make you do it, but pop it in the chat. Something. It can be big. It can be small. It can be, I'm going to go on a retreat on my own, which I did last month, which was like the best thing I've ever done in my life. If you're watching on the Facebook Live, which I think is now working, I think the comments are starting to come up. So just if you're leave me a comment. Facebook Live. Oh no. Which I think is now. Can you all hear me talking on the computer now? Carry on. Going away for Christmas. What else have we got? Can you all hear me talking? Okay. Oh, there we go. I can mute myself, and that's exciting. Going back to the UK. Right. Coordinate a retreat. Amazing. I wanted to write a book and thought that I had no comfort zone anymore. Wow. Until it came to pressing the button to send to my publisher. The scariest thing I've ever done, but you're loving the ride. Yes. Jem, I'd love to get my book out and hold retreats. I've been inspired to follow my gut instincts. And when I feel excited about an idea, I need to follow it, not fear it. Running a yoga retreat, always believed I needed more to be able to do it. Alison, I had an inspirational download of the Akashic Records 10 years ago. Then last year I came to you and I began to understand. Write more, possibly the book. So here we have run my own business. You should come to the UK, Andrea, and I'll look after you. We're very nice here, even if we're a bit odd. There's a lot around writing, around service, around doing things for other people. Sarah, getting my Reiki out to more people, running angel workshops. My question becomes, if it wasn't for you, like these aren't usual things, right? If you just ask like average Joe, if there is such a thing, sorry if there's any Joes here. If you just ask average Joe, like what you want to do, it's not these things. It's not running a retreat. It's not writing a book. It's not standing on stage. It's maybe not running my own business. I've met a lot of people that want to run retreats in Bali. I'm sure it's a thing that's like got sent out into the Akashic Records once, that like everyone's dream is to be on a retreat in Bali. And so like everyone who is capable wants to run a retreat in Bali. But my question to you is, if this has come to you, then why wouldn't it be for you? And if your soul was in charge, like if this came from your soul and your soul was in charge, do you trust your soul enough that you'd be able to do this? Give me a yes or a no. Do you trust your soul enough? I'm starting to. Yes. 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 And as you say yes, I believe so. As you say yes, you might notice that other things start to come up for you. So I'm just going to invite you, if it feels good, to close down your eyes, or just to come back into that centered space, just to come back into that feeling that we were in a moment ago. And I just invite you to call back in that resource, that peace, that inner wisdom, whatever it was that you called in before. And I just want you to invite that dream to be held with that. Just invite that dream to be held with that resource. And just ask yourself, did this dream come from my soul? And ask your soul if this is something that you can do in this lifetime. If the answer is yes, and you just feel or know a yes, just ask it, what can I do now, in this moment, now, today, over the next few hours, weeks, days? What can I do now to start to bring this closer to me, to start to actualize this? If this is for me, what do I have now, and what can I do now that can bring this to me? And if any parts of you start to pipe up and say, no, just say, hey, you don't have to do this. We've got it. We've got it. And then just gently come back. You haven't gone far. Just gently come back and pop in the chat what you received. Just pop in the chat what you received. Angie, I feel like I don't because I'm not doing it. Okay, stop overthinking and avoid the uncomfortable. That seems like good advice. Our minds are amazing, but our soul is more amazing. I made that sentence up. Stop overthinking. I heard yes, and I got a vision of my women's circle. You know, when we do these activities, when we sit in this space, when we ask those questions, our soul comes and it makes an impression upon us. And then it is completely up to us. We have this incredible thing called free will, and we can choose. We can always choose. But that fateful day, whenever it was, 2016, I think it was before I had my youngest son. So it was around then. I'm going to live my soul led life. My soul went, okay, go for it. And you know what it's had me do since then? It's had me do some crazy things. It's had me do some things that my mind has told me no. It's had me do some things that my body has told me no. It's had me do some things that I have procrastinated on. Even the thing that I'm about to announce today is something that has been in the workings for quite a long time. It was the same thing that led me to launching my book. So, Memoirs of a Mystic in Training was launched 2 years ago this month. Back then, I was so nervous. So, like Sam, like you said, hitting publish was like the scariest thing. It was a memoir, so it has so many of my personal stories. It has so many of my doubts. Let me know in the chat if you've read my book, Memoirs of a Mystic in Training. So much personal, some of my deepest, darkest thoughts and nearest, dearest thoughts went in there. I wrote things in there that I'd never said out loud and never spoken to people about. And when I hit publish, it was like the scariest thing that I'd ever done, because I knew that there'd be people out there that were reading it that might judge me. I knew that there'd people like my mom was going to read this thing. I was like, oh my God. And she is mentioned. All good. It was terrifying. And you know what? There was many parts of me. Actually, when I wrote the book in like record time, I wrote the book in about 8 weeks. It just kind of flowed out. And then it sat there. So I started in the October, and I was finished before Christmas. I think that was the timeline. And it then just sat there in my on my laptop for ages. It just sat there and I didn't read it. And I was at the time working with this Shaolin master, and he'd asked me about the book, and I'd say, I've still not read it. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. There was this thing, I was like, I couldn't reread it and edit it. And that bit took ages. And it finally came out in the August. And so my soul was telling me to do something. My human was saying no. But like I said, sometimes we have these one thoughts that change everything. Sometimes we have this thing that we're having a conversation, we're going out seeking. Yeah, we've come up with all of the excuses in the world. We've told ourselves, well, I really want to get a book out, but I can't. When actually, because we look at the book and it's such a big thing, and then we get this one thing of like, just open your laptop, which was the guidance I got when it came to writing Memoirs of a Mystic. Literally, it was that. Open your laptop. I was like, okay. Open my laptop, words started flowing out. If I wouldn't have believed that, if I'd have known at this point that I've got this whole journey in front of me, it never would have happened. And then a few weeks ago, I was doing a channeling. Some of you were there for the channeling. And in the channel, they said something that was another one of those thoughts that changed everything for me. They said, without you, as in human, without humans, we in the spirit world can't do anything. And I was like, it's so obvious. Is it so obvious? It's like the most obvious thing. Like, of course. Like, yes, maybe, I don't know if any of you have had any like spirit kind of manifestations happen, right? And we have things like, if you've ever had it where you've seen the 1111, right? And your angels have maybe turned your head to see that number at the right time, or you've overheard that conversation. I kind of feel like it's your guidance team just turning up the volume, right, on that conversation over there, or just, I don't know, delaying that lorry driver for just 30 seconds so that you can see it as you're driving through and driving past. Yeah. But really, without the human actually taking action, spirit can't do anything. And I was like, okay, I'm being called to do something. And I knew exactly what it was. But still, I was like, well, but who, and would anyone, and does anyone care? And probably not. And all of these nice human things that we do. I can be a psychic surgeon. Yes, my human's scared because of the medical establishment and risk of being struck off. And there is a risk. And sometimes we have to honor the human, and we don't always have to do anything. We don't have to do anything, but it comes into like, why? What's my purpose? And then I realized something else. I realized that the path to the mystic, which is why you're all here, this is what I've been speaking about for the last 2 weeks. The path to the mystic is expression. There's actually nothing else. Yes, we go and we learn. Yes, we go and we wonder. Yes, we go and we make our connection to the mineral kingdom or to the trees or to the angels or to the guides or to our soul. Yes, we read the books. Yes, we go on programs. Yes, we sit in meditation. Yes, we do our breath work. Yes, we do all of this, and these all form part of the path of the mystic. But every single mystic that's ever been quoted in the whole of history, yes, guess what they did? They expressed. They told people what they'd learned. They found their way of understanding it, and they put it into words, either through poetry, either through song, either through prose, either through their books, either through their talks, through interviews, through their courses. Every single one of the mystics had that. And if we are mystics in training, which I believe that we all are, we're all finding that higher wisdom. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. There's no way you just signed up to a thing like this if you're not up for higher wisdom. Give me a 1 in the chat if you're up for higher wisdom. While you're doing that, I just want to read your messages from your soul. The great advice. Take small steps. Research holidays. Dedicate a set amount of time. Do you see how practical the soul is? Sometimes it does really annoying things like just trust. And you're like, oh, can't you just tell me where to go? Fun story. When I was on the retreat. Now, I was on a retreat with 2 very highly respected spiritual teachers. And I threw a bit of a hissy fit, not at them, at God. It was only at God. And I said that. I was like, well, yes, just take the next step. But what is the next step? I just want to know. Can someone please tell me what it is? And Michael Neal said to me, he went, Melissa, are you present? And I was like, yep. He's like, are you really present? And I went, yep. And he went, then you know what to do. And I was like, oh, I do. But I still want you to tell me. So funny you said lorry driver, because you're going to be a lorry driver for a bit. That's quite cool. Okay. So we all are here for the higher wisdom. So when I heard this call that I am going to tell you about in a minute, and I heard this, or I had this knowing that the path of the mystic is around expression, and I asked what was next, I received quite clear guidance. And I went, okay, let's see what happens. And then here we are, some weeks later, where it's ready to be birthed into the world. Now, what this is my love letter to the universe. Because what I realized was that I have been doing this work for a long, long time, maybe even lifetimes. And what I've realized is the more that I share, the more that I know. The more that I give, the more that I receive. The more that I went through a while where I just kind of wanted to keep the information to myself. The book blasted all of that out of the water for me because there was nothing else to hide. And what I realized energetically is that when we try and when we keep something to ourselves, remember at school when they're like, don't copy my homework. Do you remember that? And it was any of you? You covered your thing and you're like, yeah. That we're limiting ourselves. That if we have this conduit of energy, of expression that comes through, and we begin to receive these impressions and they come in, at any point that stops, it's like we put a kink in the hose. And what happens if we put a kink in the hose? It stops the water running through it. And actually, the more that we are there, I think the analogy stops there, but the more that we're there watering the garden, the more the tap can bring us. At any point, if there's a kink, it will end up exploding or it will end up stopping. And so what was being asked for me is just to have a space where I can express. Just I can have a space where the words that want to come out will come out. That when I get a thought around something, that's okay and it's perfect as it is. Because my challenge has been I'm a I'm a 5-1 in human design, so I'm the investigator. Um, and that's very true of me. If anyone knows me, I love to know all the things about all the things. I also recently learned I'm a 5 in the Enneagram, and a 5 in the Enneagram is somebody who, guess what, wants to know all of the things, which is great. And the shadow of that is I will share it when I know enough, which is what happened with Soul School with my Akashic Records training. It took me 8 years to bring that out into the world because I felt like I needed to know enough. And I had another one of those thoughts that changed everything. One of those impressions that maybe came from a mystic, or maybe it came from something else. But I realized that I'm never going to know enough. And what I know in this moment is exactly what needs to be expressed in this moment. 5 is through the resonance of my voice. Well, that is very interesting, Mac McGregor. Because this was what was being asked for me. And because this is one of my big shadows, it obviously brought up all of the things. And so, can we have some guesses? If you're on Soul Space, don't guess. Have some guesses about what it might be that's coming out, and I'm going to announce it in a few seconds. What's coming to the world? No. This makes so much sense. I've been absent from this beautiful world for a while, but I'm revisiting painting. Juliet, I still have your painting on my wall. If my soul has a path for me, why does the universe keep blocking it? Well, there's a question. I'm going to come into that in a minute, actually. Another book with your love letters to the universe, and that would be great. An oracle deck, loving the ideas. Stacia is so excited because she knows. So when I came back from Scotland, I'm so annoying, aren't I? When I came back from Scotland, the decision was made. I had another one of those moments. There's been a while where I've been working on where how can I can share my voice in bigger ways. So Matt, that 5 is through the resonance of my voice is interesting. And one of my mentors, Robert Holden, said to me, Melissa, if this is what you want to do, you need to do it for yourself. You need to build it yourself, and they will come. We were talking about a TEDx talk, and he said, you create your own TEDx and you present it. And I went, okay. And I committed to him that I would do that. And I did, not on a TEDx stage. I built it for myself. And then this came to this. So out now, available for download is, drum roll, the Mystic and Training podcast is now out in the world. Oh, and it is a series. Do you know what? I just thought of this. Oh, I got a shiver too. It is a series of approximately 18 minutes, which, if you know anything about TEDx, they are 18-minute talks, right? I didn't even think about that. The average time of my podcast, those of you who are in like my world through my trainings and soul space will know that is tight for me. 18 minutes, 20 minutes of my love letters to the world. The whole thing has been designed as a transmission. They are unscripted. They've come through whatever inspiration has been coming through. And those moments that I've been sharing with you, those one thoughts that change everything, these these podcast episodes are filled with them. That's what they're about. That they're not here to really teach you anything, although I do bring some teachings in there. They're here to open up discussion. They're here to open up an understanding, a depth, to activate something in you so that you start to have these thoughts and these questions. That rather than following the strategies, rather than searching outside of yourself, rather than believing the brain that says that you can or can't do something, is actually just going and doing the thing that your soul says. And these podcasts will cover everything that I know and that I love and that I love to speak about, which is a lot of things. So far, we've covered a lot around intuition. We've covered a lot around purpose, karma, dharma, the golden thread, and some other things. I'm also, that Facebook group that you're all in, I've got a plan for it. In that Facebook group, I would love for the Mystic in Training podcast to become more of a conversation. So you can submit questions that you have in there, and I can do my mini TEDx's for 18 minutes on the questions that you have. I'd love to do that. And here's where you can come and start to share those one thoughts that change things for you. And it doesn't have to be like, oh my God, that one thought, it changed everything. And now my whole life is different. Sometimes it's just that subtle shift. Sometimes it's just that, oh, maybe something's possible. And sometimes it is that thing that shifts everything, that you're sitting in a workshop and you're like, you know what? Or you're sitting listening to the podcast and you go, you know what? I want to live a soul-led life and I'm up for it. Because this is what I do and this is what I demonstrate. So this is so exciting. Hello, Jen. Thank you. So this is what I'm going to ask for you, because I've put a lot of love and effort into this. And what I have done is I have, my team, my amazing team, have uploaded 3.5 episodes. So there's the trailer and there's 3 episodes available for you already. All you need to do is go onto my website. You can do it when we get off the call. And all you need to do is find your favorite platform, Spotify, Apple, YouTube. And this is really important. Subscribe or follow, depending on which one you are, and download it. These are the 2 most important things, because you all helped me so much in the Mystic in Training book launch that we got to number 330 of all books on Amazon. And I got to number 1 on these massive spiritual categories. There was over 300 of you that bought that book in the first couple of weeks of it coming out. And that started to create ripples, and it was amazing. And I had big visions for this podcast, because like I say, it's about expression. And as I realized, the more that this is expressed, the more that comes through, and the more openness that we have, and the more questions that we have. And this is my love letter. This is just me. There's no selling, there's no pitching, there's no anything. This is just pure expression. And all you need to do is go onto my website, melissaamos.com, go /podcast, or this will be exciting, go onto your favorite platform and just type in Mystic in Training and I'll come up. And what I'd love for you to do is like it, share it, download it. Okay, so they're the most important things. Also, if you will review it after you've listened, obviously, honest reviews on it, and then share it on your social media and tag me, I'm going to put you in a prize draw to say thank you for your help. And I've got something else that's really exciting that no one knows about. Do I need to let you all calm down a bit just for a minute? So the prize is 300 means God, ascended master, and angels are here to bless your path. The suspense. So I've been doing something else because it's all about, once you get me started talking, I cannot shut up. And 18 minutes on a podcast is hard for me. It's not. You know what? I didn't even try that. That's just how it's been. I just asked for them to be the perfect length, and that's what they've been. But 18 minutes is not enough. So I'm currently, and this has been asked for me for the last 2 years. But I'm currently recording Memoirs of a Mystic in Training in audiobook format. It is being recorded without my brace, Jackie. There's too many S's in it. It's being recorded. It's not ready yet. I'm 5 hours in. There's about another 5 hours to go. It's amazing, isn't it? I'm so excited. You know what? My son is editing it for me. So that means that he's listening to my book, which is also another shadow that I'm overcoming. So what I would love for one of the prizes that I'm going to be offering when it's ready, which is probably going to be about another 2 to 3 weeks. I'm going to send some of you lucky winners a copy of the Memoirs of the Mystic and Training audiobook. So if you don't have enough of me the 20 minutes a day, a week, not a day. I don't talk that much. You can listen to me talking about the Mystic and Training. That's cool, right? I've got some other things, and the big prize, the big prize, the big prize. So you liked it, downloaded it, shared it, tagged me, reviewed it. That's it. It would take about 5 minutes, and then you're going to listen to it because obviously, well, I would be here. I am going to be giving away 3 months in my community soul space, which is the other place that I go to express, where we have these incredible coaching calls. We're bringing channeling in there. So equinox, we've got a channeled meditation coming in. We do live channels in there where you can ask me or my channel anything that you want, which are absolutely super cool. And there's a whole library of different trainings and how to channel yourself and law of attraction, all these really cool things. So that's what you need to do. Tag me, like, share. Can you just put in the chat what you think that you need to do? Because I feel like I've said too many words now. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Jen. So you see, I got confused. So my podcast, so the Mystic and Training podcast, my brand new podcast. Yes, you go onto Spotify or Apple, or both, and YouTube. It's on YouTube as well. Okay, follow or subscribe. Thank you, Jackie. You got it. Review. Share it. If you share it, tag me. So if you share it on your social media, tag me, and then I'll know, because otherwise I'll never know that you did it. And then you'll have shared it, but you won't be on it. But also what I've done, so when this call finishes, it's so good. When this call finishes, I've created some graphics with the link, and you can share that. So they're really cool graphics of the Mystic and Training podcast. So you can tell people that you've subscribed. You can start to get out there. The reason why I am asking you for this is because these are how the algorithms work. And in order for this to just make any dent in any of the podcast land things, we just need to do it this weekend. So that's what I'm asking. If the more of us that can do it this weekend, then the higher it can begin to rank, and then other opportunities may arise. And so I'd appreciate that from you. Okay. This weekend. And what I've done, I have uploaded 3 today, plus the trailer. So 3.5. We're putting another one in tomorrow, and then we've got another one in on Sunday. So you can literally listen to me for like 2 hours if you want to. Or you can savor it through the week. And then they're going to come live every Friday at 12 o'clock. Yes, Mac, you've got it. Stacia, you've got it. You've all got it. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. And I'm going to say this, if I can do this, and I know like I teach and I do all of this stuff, but also, like I said, like expression has been, I talk a lot about the golden thread, and expression has been that golden thread for me. For me, as a kid, if you read my book, you'll know. As a kid, I was I was quite shy. Like when I was working in the car showroom, I used to go bright red if anyone spoke to me, and it was something that I had to go through. This whole thing about I want to know everything, and so therefore will I ever know enough? But what I knew is my soul would never lead me wrong. And that came from having, that didn't come from birth. That didn't come from, I wasn't, maybe I was, and I trained it out of me, but I wasn't like born with this knowing. It was something that I had to discover. And it's hopefully something that as you follow my journey and come along with me, that you see I embody, and that maybe it gives you some bravery or some inspiration to do that too. So if I can do this, all of those things that you were saying, those retreats that you want to run, the lorry driving that you want to do, the book that you want to write, maybe the podcast you want to release, the TEDx that you want to speak about, yeah, the second book you want to get out, the women's circle that you want to run, the own business that you want to create, the Reiki that you want to do. If your soul was in charge, do you really think that it would let your human down? And so that's the trust that I'm giving. That's the trust that I'm giving. And it seemed to me that when I asked, what's the next step for me? And it started to speak about expression. And I declared, and I did this in front of the people at the retreat as well. And it feels important to say it now. And some of you might not like it, but this is expression. As I declared at the retreat in front of Michael and Robert and 40 other souls, that I trust that divine is with me. I know that there are mystical and magical experiences. I know that my soul leads the way. And where I'm asking my soul to lead me to now is to having the abundance of the world. Yes, I don't want the whole world. I just want to show, not just for me, but for those people that I work with, that as we follow our soul, that we get rewarded for it in both joy and in material ways. And when I spoke this out, the answer that came was run a podcast, which makes no sense because there's no money exchange. But I know that my soul will never lead me wrong. And I know that the most important thing for me right now is expression. And I know that what's coming through and the purity of what I'm bringing into the Mystic in Training podcast is going to be like, it's quite funny as well. Those in soul space know it's going to be quite funny. More clients will certainly come for it. They might. But actually, what I realize is coming from it, that as I've been recording it, is there's been more thoughts that come through from it, that I'll be expressing something and then it's like, oh, okay, well, now that makes more sense. That as I'm speaking about it, so Jen, we see that in Luminary, right? That as we're speaking about something and then we're like, oh, now it makes sense to me. And then it gives me the next step and the next step, because every single mystic that has ever been has expressed, and they've expressed for expression. We don't do it for the money. We can't get it the wrong way round. It's about expression. And my experiment right now is, let's see where this takes us. Let's see where this grows to. Let's see where this impact comes in. And let's see how this changes the physical reality. We'll see. If I can do it, you can do it. Thank you, Sarah. Best of luck with my benches. So that's it. So you know. I'm just reading your comment, Natalie. You aren't meant to be a lorry driver, Natalie. No. But then you never know. The lorry driving might be that you have that space where you can listen to my podcast while you're driving the lorry, and you'll be like, oh, well, I had my spiritual insight from there. Okay. So we're good. We know what we're doing. Yes. Okay. How are we doing time? So what I really wanted to do this evening is expression's important. And I think some of you have got some things that want to be expressed. Yes. And I wondered if there's anyone that wants to come on and just have a mini little coaching to see how we can bring this expression out of you. So if you're up for that and you've got a question, you need to have a question, then just pop your hand up. We might do one or two. If not, I'm going with Claire's. Claire, if you can jump on the Zoom, you're welcome to ask me that call. You can also put it in the chat, but it's better if we're talking. Your soul wouldn't give you a thing if you weren't meant to have it. Do we all believe that? And your human right now is like freaking out. Like, oh my God. Okay, so Sim, I think you said yes first. I don't know if you were saying yes to me or yes to being in. So just take yourself off mute if you're
both. I'm always ready.
Hello, always ready. So tell me, what is coming through you that wants to be expressed?
Um, we've had this conversation before that I do want to have my membership done.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like you said, the soul knows that I want to do it. The human is resisting.
Okay. Tell me, if your membership was a real thing, yeah,
Mhm.
how would it change the people's lives that are in it, in the membership?
Safe space for them to talk. And of course, have people that they can kind of count on. Uh, Nobody judges you when you come up with your problems, which we know in this lovely world. You speak one and you have 10 people telling you this is right or this is not.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to build up a community like that and basically have people shine from the inside, feel as successful in the inside as they do appear on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
but on the inside, they're just not feeling it yet.
Okay, so you want to create a safe space which has got no judgment so that people can have their expression.
Mm-hmm.
Why is expression so important for them? Like, why is it so important that they feel good, as good on the inside as it looks like they are from the outside?
I will go from my side. Like, I'm always thinking of what others are going to say to whatever I say. So, always thinking before I'm speaking, always being like, okay, I don't want to have somebody else be, how do I put it? Um, I don't want to trigger anybody. So always kind of not speaking my truth
Okay.
all the time. So
Okay.
I want to create a space where you can.
Okay. Sim, what is the thing that you've always wanted to say that you've never let yourself say?
You matter the most
Okay. Who are you saying that to?
to myself and anybody who would join my space.
Okay. You matter the most.
Yeah.
So if you matter the most, let's just try that on as a truth for now.
Mm-hmm.
Sim, you matter the most. What does that change in you?
Make me feel important.
And if you're important, then what?
I can make a difference in the world
Mhm. And what's more important than that?
to help others,
Okay. And what's more important than that?
to be at peace with myself.
Okay. And do you need to be the most important person in the world to do that?
Nope,
Okay. But do you need to matter to do that?
nope.
Okay. What do you want more than anything?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. If you did know, what might it be? What might the experience be?
I'm just peaceful.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you find that peace now?
Yes,
Okay.
I can. I want others to feel it too
Okay. Tell me where the peace is.
inside.
Okay. Where inside?
In the body, you
Okay.
mean?
Where do you feel it?
In my gut.
So just connect in with that peace in your gut. Just let it be there. Just see if you can dial it up a little more. Just if it can go any larger. And it's okay if it can't, but just see if you can invite it to go a little larger. And just let that piece create itself. It knows exactly what to do. It knows all the qualities of peace. So just let it be there. And I just want you to invite into that feeling this knowing that you matter the most. Just drop in that thought like it's dropping into a river or a lake, into that lake of peace. You matter the most. You don't need to do anything. Just notice what happens. Maybe it creates some ripples. And just let it stay there until it comes back into that same stillness, that gentle rhythm of peace. And then I just want you to invite in that vision of the membership, this thing that you've been working on. It might have been taking you out of peace for a while. Just bring that vision of peace, that vision of the membership into this lake of peace. So let it drop in, like you're dropping a pebble into this feeling of peace. And just let it stay in there. You don't need to do anything, don't need to know anything. Just let it be in there. This vision of the membership, of you creating it, of it being ready. And then imagine that the people who you're going to be helping come and join you and this pebble and this feeling of peace. Just invite them in. Just each one drops in maybe a little stone or pebble, an acorn, whatever it is. Let it drop in. Let them be and sit in there. And you can just trust that this is going to continue. But before you come back, I just want you to imagine that this energy of peace could speak to you. And I just want you to ask it what the next step is. What do you need to do now in order to make this a thing? And you don't have to know what that is, just invite it to encode within you, if you like. And then as you come back, you'll just find that you have something. May make sense or not. You'll find that you have something. So just allow yourself to come back. That feeling of peace can stay in there. Just bring the awareness back to your eyes and just let us know what that message, that next step is.
Just said you know what to do.
Oh, it's an honor. Do you know what to do?
You know what to do. And I know the steps I need to take. It's just that I don't take them.
Okay. Can you take one of them? You don't have to take all of them. You take the first one.
I have been trying.
Okay. I'm not trying. Can you take the first one? Bring it, step back into that piece. Don't then come and do it from up here. Come and do that from that space in your gut. The next one, I want one commitment. That feeling of peace can be yours and your members if you let it. You don't have to. No one's going to make you do this. But if you want it,
I have been working towards it. The first thing I need to do is consistent visibility, which I start and then I stop. I start and then I stop. So I'm working towards that.
okay. And the one thing that you said that you wanted to say that you haven't said before is you matter the most. Yeah, I want you to start there. Your next post, start with that sentence, let that energy come through, because that's the thing, that kink in the hose is you've not let yourself say that or feel that. Yeah.
Okay.
Start there. You matter the most. Let that be your channel to move through. Okay.
Yeah.
I did pull you a card and it's so good. Vision and ambition. You know what to do. When I asked you what do you really, really want, you didn't know. Yeah. So this is where we start. When you open that, like really what do you get very clear what you want to see in there and be honest with yourself. That thing that I shared with you about what I said to Michael and Robert was something that had been sitting in me for a long time that I didn't want to admit to anybody because I thought it made me not spiritual. I thought it made me greedy. I thought I'd be judged around it. But it was, and I didn't even admit it to myself in my journals. I've got this whole journal that I wrote on the retreat, and my soul space members heard this story. I had a hissy fit to God, and it took me 2.5 pages for me to actually admit what I want. I was like, I don't want anything from you, and it was crap. I did want things from God, right? And it was when I then said that out loud in the open, I want to experience spirit in material ways, yeah, that it like opened a floodgate that had been held back. Yeah. You never know. When we say the thing that we don't know, or that we've never allowed ourselves to say before, it opens up that kink, then things can start flowing. Okay? Get clear. Thank you, Sim.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming up. You're very brave. Unpin you. Okay. So Claire said something interesting. I'm not sure, Claire, if you're still here on the chat, but she said something interesting like my comments have gone, so I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something around, well, I soul invited me to do it, but I've still not done it. And maybe it wasn't for me. The thing is with thought, is it's quite interesting, right? Is that how many thoughts do we have a day? Like thousands, probably. And how many of them are different to what the last one was? Probably not that many. But these are the sorts of places my brain goes, which is, well, where do you think our thoughts come from? We get told, change your thoughts, change your life, yes. But actually, do we take the step back and it's like, where did that thought come from anyway? Chapter of my book, FYI. Where do our thoughts come from anyway? And what I've realized is that there's this whole field, this invisible realm, that we are like receivers or antennas that we pick up the energy from. Now, some of these thoughts come from soul, come from the field, yeah, come from higher wisdom, come from our Akashic records. Maybe they all do in some way or another. A lot of our thoughts come from what our caregivers, our parents taught us, our families, our communities. Yeah. Sometimes our thought comes from a dominant experience that's around us. Yeah. Like, have you ever been somewhere and you just kind of feel a bit like, you're like, why am I so anxious all of a sudden? I was fine when I walked into this room. And then you're like this. It's because we have this, we entrain to what's around. And sometimes we can, even if we don't think we're psychic, we pick up thoughts of other people. And so what we need to get good at when we're having these times for vision, yeah, when we're giving ourselves this thing of like, well, what is it that I really want? It's really asking yourself, well, what is it that I really want? Like one of my mentees, I speak to her and I gave her a task for like 2 weeks. I messaged her most days and I was like, what do you want? I was like, no, what do you really, really want? And every morning I'd be on my walk. What do you really, really want today? I think she probably wanted to throw the phone out the window by about week 2. But it got interesting about what it was that she really, really wanted. And so I'm going to invite you to journal on that. Like, what do I want? What do I like the Spice Girls? What do I really, really, really want? And notice how many of those thoughts are yours. And notice how many are from your consumer self. It's a bit of a worrying term, isn't it? The consumer persona. How many are what you just think you should be doing, and how many are yours? Because when we get good at that and we can begin to understand that, we can begin to understand actually what our soul is giving us. And when our soul gives us something, we have a choice. We can declare, so Sim, you can think, well, this membership that I want to do, it might have come just from the human, it might have come from the business side, it might have come from another place, right? I'm not saying it has or hasn't, but like it could have done. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, like, you don't have, all your desires don't have to be from your soul. Yeah, your desires can be from like your comfort. Your desires can be from your ambition. Your desires can be from societal expectations. There's nothing wrong with any of that fundamentally. And the another one of those thoughts that changed so much for me was if it's given to me by my soul, there's nothing that my human can't do to make that happen. Should I choose it to happen? I can say no. Human can say no. I can not move in that direction, and that's always going to be my choice. It's probably going to leave me feeling a little bit angsty. That feeling of peace that we just brought in isn't there as much. That fuel that when things get hard, when it's coming from our ambition, will only take us so far. What I've learned about spirit is it will keep on flowing through us and it will get us through it. It's not like, oh, it's all so easy, but it will get us through. It will fuel us. It will energize us. Yeah. And it's a key distinction. And something else happens. So what we did with Sim when we had that energy of peace, which is the thing that seems to be what's wanting to call people in, and that was what's going to fuel you, is we then invited them in to experience this peace. We saw what happened, or we felt what happened as they went into this. I saw it as like a pool or a lake of peace as they come in. That we begin to be the answer to someone else's prayers. because they want peace too. They want to be felt, they want to be heard, they want to be non-judged, they want to have freedom of expression. And our job as humans is to not just let it sit in the brain and let the brain do the whole job. Our brain's super clever, but let's give it a job. Let's tell the brain, right, come on, we're going to do this. I literally say to my brain, it's all right. Soul's never led us wrong. And it protests many times. But another one of those truths, just because I had a thought doesn't mean I have to listen to it. That was a big one. One of those spiritual facts that changed everything. Just because I had a thought doesn't mean I have to listen. Yeah. Like the podcast. You can listen to my podcast. You can believe what I say or you cannot believe it. Just because I say it doesn't mean you have to do it. Just because I say it doesn't mean it's true. But maybe it'll bring up a question. Maybe it'll bring up something else. Maybe it'll bring up a desire. And when we truly let soul in and let that fuel us and let that lead the way, I don't think that there's anything true that we can't do. It might not happen overnight, or it might, but I don't think there's anything true that we can't do. And so if you're finding that it's just not happening despite everything, I just get really real. Well, what is it that you really, really want? Really, really want? And keep going from there. Okay. I think we got time for one more. So whoever that is, just take yourself. You need to have a question. Please. You're so shy.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? Wait, hold on, I can't see you.
Hold on a minute. Let me put my camera on. I'm in the dark. Hold on a minute. Should be on. Let me put some light on. 1 sec.
There we go. Well, we can kind of see you.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay. You matter the most hit me there, and so there one person it's impacted. You see, Sim, you said it and you already impacted one person. This is how it works. And who knows how Natalie's going to now show up. Okay. Zeus, how are you?
Yeah, I misspelled my name. Why not? You know, it's supposed to be an A at the end, but whatever.
So how do I say your name?
Shusha, you know me from BBS.
I do, yeah. Well, I was just thinking, did I say it wrong?
No. I misspelled my name, so why? It starts.
Hello, Judah. Thank you for being here. What's up?
Question: do I buy the house or do I not buy the house?
We can't be doing this. Okay, you have brought up such a good point. Do I buy the house? Okay, I'm going to break this down. Okay. Cool. Do I buy the house? Do I not buy the house? When we ask questions like that, right? Yeah. We are giving our power to some unknown. Sorry, my new friend. This is Byron. Not Byron. Brody. This is Brody. My sheepskin from Scotland, who came home with me when I was. So he just fell. He fell off his chair. He literally fell off the chair when you asked that question, because it's like, oh, she's going to go on her soapbox now. When we ask a question like, should I, we have to ask ourselves, who are we asking? Because I believe this. It's another thought that changed everything. I believe this. I don't think spirit really have a plan for us. I don't think the universe really has a plan for us. I think we have a plan for us, and the universe conspires to make that happen. That's what I think. That's what I feel. That's the experience that I've had. I do think there's a destiny, and I do think there's a fate. But those things aren't. They're not predetermined, I think, in the way that the human understands it to be. So when we are faced with a choice, there isn't really a right or wrong answer. When we're faced with a choice, the choice becomes, which one do I take? And once I take it, am I fully committed to that choice? Because the worst thing that we can do is be like, no, and I half take a choice. Well, I'm going to start a podcast, but I'm not really. I'm going to start a membership, but I'm not really. We take a choice and we commit to it, and then we carry on walking in that direction, knowing that it's true. Right? We commit to. We're saying, is this house the right house for me? Is a good question. Yeah. But then the question becomes, like what I said a minute ago, is, well, what is it that you really, really want? What is it that you really, really want from a house? I'm going to give you a real life example of something that happened to me. Okay. A couple of years ago, I think it was now. My husband sold a car or bought a car from this couple, and their house was amazing. And they were moving to like Spain or something, right? Their house was amazing. It had a wine cellar. It had a massive driveway. It had like this kids' playground in it. I was like, that house is gonna be mine, right? I like read the picture. I'm like, I am having that house. It's amazing. And I kind of sat with it, and I was like, yep, I definitely want the house. And the guidance I got was, my inner guidance, you can have the house. And I'm like, you can have that. And it was way over budget, but I'm like, okay, I could have the house. And then actually, when I started to ask better questions, I realized that I didn't really want the house. I wanted the house, but I didn't want the things that then came with it, the really high mortgage. Yeah. I would have been moving areas, which I didn't really, really want to do, because I had to take the kids out of school and all of this stuff, right? There was other things that when I was so focused on the house, my spirit team literally said to me, you can go for the house and you'll get the house. But actually, when I came back to that question, what do I really, really, really want? It wasn't that, because my values of peace, of security, of happiness, of freedom, of going on these holidays would have been compromised by having the house. So I was asking the wrong question. The question actually becomes of, what do I really, really want? My values of freedom, of expression, of, especially with the work that I do. One of the amazing things about it is I'm so free to create what it is that I want, because I don't have the pressures of, well, I need to do this to make money. I can trust that as I do what I really love to do, that the money will come through. Yeah, you can see the difference.
Okay, so the question is, do I want the house or do I not want the house? Or is it a better question?
Do you want the house? You tell me.
Okay.
Do you want
so that's the question. Okay. All right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. That's fine.
Zuzia,
Yes.
what do you really, really want? Don't talk about a house. What do you really, really want?
Just one thing? Just one?
You can give me a list.
Give me a list. Okay, I'll give you a list. No, it's not gonna be a list. It's like Shim said. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Peace, obviously, like probably all humanity wants peace, inner peace, and financial freedom, pretty much.
Okay. So you want peace and you want financial freedom.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So I just want you to tune into this house that you're thinking of, and imagine you're there. You're buying the house.
I am already here. That's the thing. They want us to kick us out.
Oh, okay. So this is the house. Okay. Imagine you're purchasing it. Yeah. Have you cut off?
Yes,
You're still there. Okay.
It feels good.
Peace. Yeah. Tell me, does peace live here?
In the house.
Mm-hmm. You buy the house.
Yes.
Does peace live here? Okay. Okay. Shake it off. Be in the house.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. So we're just changing state, right? We're just coming into, so back in the house. Is freedom here?
I'm gonna say yes.
Does that feel true that you're saying yes?
In the big picture, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
apart from I have to commute places, yes.
Okay. What else is there that's
It's my
in your things that you really, really want that you haven't told us about yet?
that my partner is very close to her workplace, which is really, really important to me.
Okay. You, why is that? Like, why? Articulate that for me. Like, why is that important?
Because she's happier there than she ever was anywhere else.
Okay. So if you stay in the house, this house, is that happiness there?
More like no stress than happiness.
Okay.
If it makes sense.
Yeah.
No struggle.
Okay.
Not happiness in the conventional sense, but no struggle, no stress, no anxiety.
Okay. Okay. Amazing. Thank you for doing that. So now we know that staying in this house can tick 2 of your values: peace, freedom. Third one's and this is to do with your partner. So then this leads you to have a conversation with her about what's important. Is it happiness that she wants? Is it not stress? Like, and to do something similar with her, because then you'll get the answer of whether or not this is the place for you. And if it becomes a choice, this is great for everyone. If you've got a choice coming up and you're like, I don't know, we do it with both. So is there another house in the picture that you're looking at?
Nope.
No. Okay. So then you ask around, if I started searching for somewhere else, like, is there, like, what is it that's stopping me from saying yes to this one? Yeah. And it could just be nerves, and that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. But I think that just this exercise, if you do that, if you and your partner like wrote down like 5 to 10 things that you really want and just did that little exercise together, you'll then know the answer about whether or not this is the right house for you.
I feel it is.
Okay.
But I'm still not 100% sure.
Okay. Okay. Your card is strengthening boundaries, which is interesting because it's like she's in a house. So for me, this is about you getting super clear, and this might sound nuts, but this is the path to the mystic. Is to kind of be in the different areas of your house and really feel like which ones feel like home. Maybe there needs to be some change. Maybe if you bought the house, it means that something you might want to change something that you can't do if you're just staying there. Yeah. Maybe there's a part of it that's not right. Maybe that there's a negotiation that can happen because there's something going in. But you can go and have, I know it sounds nuts, but like have conversations with parts of the house. Yeah. Like, yeah. For example, new plants today. I just got a bit flamboyant on plants this week. I had a feng shui consultation, and so I had to buy plants. And so this one arrived today, and there's another couple in the house, and we had a conversation. We are mates, me and this plant now. It knows what it's doing. I know what I'm doing. It's here. It's a dragon plant. Let's give you some clues. Yeah, it has an aliveness. It has an energy. And when I was picking the plant, I went through something similar to what I just said to you, because there was choices, and that it can get overwhelming. So there's 1,000 plants. And this was the one that just felt like this is going to give me what I need. My step 1, I was getting super clear. What is it that I really, really want? And 2, things don't have to hit 100% of it. But it's knowing like the tipping point and knowing whether there's a boundary or there's a compromise that you're willing or not willing to take.
I'm gonna ask a question. You might get very angry with me.
I would never get angry.
I think you will.
I might go on a TED Talk rant, but
Can I buy the house?
can you buy the house?
Yeah.
You can't
Fine.
ask me that, Judah.
There you go. I told you.
Am I angry? No.
Nah.
I'm going to pick you a card.
Okay.
Oh, look at that unconditional love. Does that answer you?
Unconditional towards a person.
It's unconditional love. That's the answer. Can you buy the house? I don't know.
I know you don't, but can you ask them if I can?
I can ask them, but this isn't the time nor place for that.
Fair enough. Okay.
But the answer that came was unconditional love. And for me, like Sim said, yeah, about who is she saying that to? It's saying that to self. Like, what would unconditional love do? What would unconditional love do? Would it make this investment or would it not? Because there isn't ever a right or wrong answer. It's a case of I'm making a choice and I'm making it for the right reasons. And then I'm going to keep going ahead in my choice, knowing that I've made this choice and this is my commitment, and I'm making that commitment, and I love myself enough to carry on with that commitment even when things are hard. Because yeah, you're a business owner as well, right? It's hard. These things are hard. They're not the easy path. This path of the mystic is not an easy path. It's not. But we have this trust that it's not, that I'm not going to be let down. And a question that you can ask yourself is, what would love do? And you'll be surprised, because love is very intelligent. What would love do? Can I buy this house? What would love do? Or what would love say? And you'll get an answer.
I think I got it, actually. Okay, perfect.
Yep. Amazing. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, really.
You're very welcome. As Neil didn't get angry. Sim says, if this helps, my husband wanted a bigger house, but I kept resisting. We actively looked at houses. After 2 years, we walked into our current house, and even without walking through the house, we all agreed that this felt like home. Perfect. When I bought this house, we like literally walked in the door. We were like, this is our house. And we were in this, we spoke to the pre-owners of this house after. They were like, we were sure you weren't going to buy it because you were only in here for about 10 minutes. And we were like, we just knew it was our house. I have been in this house for 20 something years, like literally like more than half my life. I've been in this house. You two are this house. You see, like there's a thing and we can speak to it. Like I knew it with the plant. I knew, and there's another one here. It's called the Marble Queen. As soon as I read it, I'm like, that one's for me. And this one, the dragon something, I was like, oh, that's me, that's mine. And I'd looked in it, and I was like looking at all the properties. Come on, Brody. Be a good sheepskin. It's not being a good sheepskin. We knew. Okay. It's been 90 minutes. The podcast is out. It was really cool doing some coaching with you. So we know what we're doing. Yes, we are going to come off this call. I'm going to put a post up in a few minutes on my wall, and I will pin it at the top, and it will have my podcast thing. And I would love a download or a follow. Yeah, a share, tag me. You can share my little graphics. They're very cute. You can share my graphic. Make sure you tag me. If you review and share and tag me and then follow it, I will pop you in the prize draw. One of you will win 3 months in Soul Space. I'll keep that open for the next week. Yeah, I do need some ties for Brody. He's like, don't tie me down. That's what he's thinking. Soul Space is my membership community. It's currently closed, but I might invite a few people in. So if you're thinking about coming and joining, please just send me a message. My next launch, it's going up by about 20%. So if you want to come in, now's the time, because it's still, we've not updated it because I've been too busy with this. So that is available. I'm also about to announce for the first time ever, I am going to be offering an apprenticeship with somebody. It will be a multi 5-figure investment, but it will be me apprenticing you, teaching you all I know that is relevant for you. So if you're up for any of those, my inbox is open. And the most important thing right now, like, subscribe, and share. Okay, so just do that. You'll listen to it. Oh, and once you've listened to it, I'd love to know what you think, what your favorite episodes are. And remember, in the Facebook group, any questions I might speak about shoulds. What should I do? Thank you, Zuza, for that inspiration. I might speak about Claire's questions. So any questions you got come up, you'll get my mini 18-minute TED Talks on straight into the podcast. Mystic and Training podcast is now live. Okay. Thank you all for coming. You've been amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Lots of love. Bye, bye, bye.